How do you not like The Little Mermaid?
I love The Little Mermaid. I just don't think the little crab guy sings rock music.
Oh, you know his name is Sebastian.
Yes, but I don't know that they know his name is Sebastian.
Everybody knows that because it's an awesome movie starring a ginger. There's nothing not to love.
But it's 20-something years old.
Anyways. Also 20-something years old, Joe Serockin, and guess what?
Transition.
We're gonna ride this train till it dies. Welcome to Keep on Serockin' Me Baby with Jess and BJ.
Three titles for Joe Serockin on the Jess and BJ Show.
Joe I know, we've gone to this well. It's getting dry, but it's really not dry because Joe Serockin's our chip leader again with heaps of chips, over 1 million. He's the one of 2 players over 1 million that it was hard to pick anything but him again.
He and Robert Gerardo separated by only half a big blind at the top of the leaderboard.
Or a small blind even.
You could call it a small blind.
So that's why we had to go there again.
Should we settle up first?
Yes.
Okay.
We both lost again.
I think you lost more than me. The line was 12.
That's not even close to what happened.
The line was 12.
When someone takes the exact and misses.
Whatever. Number of players left at the end of day 4. Bookie said 12. Jess said 11 and under. I said 12. The answer was 15. Somehow she thinks she was more correct than I was.
Let's tweet at us, at Jess and BJ.
Tweet
and you
at
tell
her.
Me.
Yeah, tell her that quantitative
Today, we
things.
have 7 of the 15 players left in the field are WPT final tablists, which is like over 40% of the field has made one of these
43%.
before. 3 of them are above average, 4 of them are below average. How many are making the final table? Bookie has set the line at 4. I feel like we obviously, judging by our constant flows related titles, believe Joe Serockin will get there. I feel like a couple others have to, that I'm gonna take. I said that and then I'm like, I'm taking the under.
You looked like you were going to change your mind.
Having 5 seems a bit excessive, but 3 seems like the right number to me.
All right, I'm going to take the exacta on 3. If the bookie said 3, I would have taken the exacta again. And guess what? If you took the under and it was 4, I would have been more right. But this time we're going to agree, but I'm still taking the exacta on 3.
Well then. When the day began, we had 32 players. We were not quite in the money. Lost some people right away, including...
Lost 3 players in 15 minutes.
Yeah, including someone that I had a free roll of $1 on against him. Joanne Doran.
Last woman standing.
Was the last woman standing in the field. I assumed she could just blind out and make the final table because we have never had a Florida final table without a female in the lineup.
Right, and by never we mean this season and last season.
Well, now we are 3 of 4 because we don't have any women in the field. The bubble was kind of long. It took several hours to get from
15 minutes, we lost 3 players, 2.5 hours to lose the next 2 and reach the money.
29 to 28 took a very long time, and then 28 to 27 took a very long time.
Right.
And the money bubble was kind of funny because...
Hilarious.
Odd, because Jason Kuhn had been relatively short and had been shoving all in a lot. So you kind of get in your mindset who's short at the table, who's not short at the table. He and Allie Prescott get it all in. Allie has 9s, Jason has jacks. And at the end of the hand, Allie Prescott taps the table and starts to get up and walk away. And everyone at the table is like, huh? And they look down and realize that he had less chips than Jason did. He had kind of lost them in a series.
They were both pretty short.
Yeah, he had lost them in a series of small pots, whereas Jason's had been in kind of memorable pots, and people didn't realize that. And so it was suddenly like, whoa, we're in the money.
So they were surprised they were in the money. There was also a chance that Prescott could have been saved because most people didn't realize it. There was another hand going on with Michael Green. He knew Allie Prescott busted, and he could have just folded in the hand and locked up $25,000. He chose to keep playing the hand. He was short, all in with ace-king on a king-high flop.
Play ace-king on a king-high flop.
His opponent called. He was totally dominated, tripped up on the turn, and doubled up. But, the other guy goes runner-runner.
He busted 24th, though. He didn't bust too much.
He ended up with a min-cash.
So yeah, we got from 27 down to 15 by day's end, like you mentioned, and are left with quite a few notables, like our 7 final tablists. If you want to know who those are, it's Joe Serockin, Robbie Rockhaven, Fred Goldberg, Eli Berg, Sharon Levin, who final tabled Lucky Hearts here, and Justin Zaki and Tommy Vitas, who final tabled this event.
And we'll mention them again in a little bit.
In a little bit, like now?
Now let's save it.
Okay, what would you like to talk about next?
John Dolan continues his hot streak of finishing the day up among the top 3 or 4 of the chip
though
counts.
he did kind of peter off in the middle of the day. At one point he was down to 400,000, which was below average, but then whoop.
The chip leader going into yesterday, Bill Brown, had a rough day. He did bust. So for 2 days in a row, the chip leader busted, and the person who was second in chips, the day before was Joe Serockin. Now he finished as the chip leader So
So
chip
you're
leader
saying
has
that
not
Robert Girardo is going to be the chip leader going to the final table, and Joe Serockin?
No, I'm just saying if that happened, it would continue a trend. But it is not a prediction.
Just making sure we're not calling our shots and then claiming we're only kind of wrong when it happens.
I was wrong. I was just less wrong than you were.
Not even close. All right, so some of the things that we have to look forward to today as we play from 15 down to 6 are the WPT Player of the Year race.
Yes, and we're coming to the end of the season.
Yes, we have 2 stops after this. Will Fiala is still out front, but both Joe Serockin and Fred Goldberg can catch him. Fred Goldberg needs 5th or better. Joe Serockin needs 4th or better. So we will find out for sure if they make it tomorrow. But today they'll be doing the bulk of the work.
Right. If they survive today, they've got an excellent shot. If they bust today, then, well, that's that.
Yeah. And then Sharon, if he were to make it and win, would get within 50 points of catching.
Which he could do
Same
with the
for
cash.
Eli, too, actually. Eli
Which he could do
Burke,
with the cash at the championship. Or
Yes.
Jacksonville.
Yes, exactly.
Shall we?
You can also look forward to the fact that Justin Zaki and Tommy Vitas are looking to make this final table for the 2nd consecutive year.
Right.
Tommy got 6th last year. I know he was disappointed with that finish, wants to get higher. Justin got 3rd last year when his aces were cracked late in the game. Sure, he wants redemption there. They are both short, though, so we'll see how that
Right.
works
And only
out.
one time before in WPT history have the same 2 players made the same final table in back-to-back years. Scotty Wynn and Michael Mizrahi did it in seasons 3 and 4 in, I want to say Biloxi, Tunica was where we were back then. So that's pretty cool.
Before we wrap up for the day, we do have to send out a big congrats to Club WPT's Butch Velour
Yes.
for cashing in this event. Not only did he cash, he was really kind of putting people on their toes yesterday. The reason Jason Kuhn was down near the felt on the money bubble is because Butch was just taking hand after hand off of him. So big congrats, Butch. $25,000 for his $19.95 a month investment, which is really just insane.
Yes.
So
it's a heck of a min cash. This is the one to min cash.
yeah, congrats to him. And with that, I think it's time for our question of the day because I'm starting to get excited, BJ. We're going to Disney World because we don't have
Yep.
really time to go home in between this one and Jacksonville.
We've got one off day before the next tournament, and the WPT Live Updates team going to Walt Disney World,
So instead of a Joe Serockin related question of the day,
which
I'm
we've
going
already
to
had
ask,
multiple times before.
what are you most looking forward to about our Disney World trip? You know, I'll just tell you what mine is.
Go first.
On Main Street, Casey's Corner hot dogs, delicious. So
Don't think I've ever had hot
yeah,
dog
it's
at
like
Disney.
Casey at the Bat,
Right.
that cartoon, that baseball style hot dogs, really, really good. So
Okay. I like the rides. I like people watching at Disney. It's just great fun. But the monorail, and it may be because it's right before you go into the park, it's part of the anticipation. Ever since I was a little kid, the monorail was always cool. Getting on the monorail is kind of, to me, the start of Walt
it's not
Disney
even
World.
in the park. You're really gonna pick something that's not even in the park?
To me, the park is like the whole property.
Plus, the monorail is the most depressing part. At the end of the day, you know what's taking you away from Disney World? The monorail.
Monorail, monorail, monorail.
This is not The
monorail,
Simpsons. This
monorail,
is Disney.
monorail,
Wrong cartoon.
Monorail.
Wrong cartoon.
Monorail.
Stop it.
Monorail.